And now we invite the Coordinating Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development to deliver his opening remarks. His Excellency Bapak Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono, the stage is now yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace and blessing be upon you. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good morning and welcome to Jakarta, Indonesia. Your Excellencies, Ministers of Kabinet Merah Putih, hadir bersama kita.
We have with us the Minister of Public Works, Mr. Dodi Hanggodo. We have Minister of Transmigration, Mr. Ivita Sulaiman, and the Minister of SME, Bapak Mahman Abdurrahman, and Minister of Creative Economy, Bapak Teguh Iftirasa, and the Vice Chairman of DPD Indonesia, Bapak Tamsil, and also the head of agencies, the Vice Ministers, the head of agencies whose name I apologize for not being able to mention one by one, and also the member of our parliaments.
Presence today, para gubernur dan wakil gubernur,
The governors and also deputy governors. Let's give a big round of applause for our regional leaders.
development partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, allow me to share a brief personal reflection. A few years ago, I traveled to a remote village in eastern part of Indonesia. The journey took planes, boats, and hours of rough roads. When I finally arrived, a local elder welcomed me with a quiet smile and said, "We may live far from Jakarta, but our hopes are the same." That hit me very hard in my heart. And that moment has never left me, because whether we are policymakers in capital cities or farmers in distant islands, our mission is shared to build a future where opportunity reaches everyone. It is with that spirit and with deep honor that I welcome you all to the International Conference on Infrastructure 2025. This year, we are proud to host participants from across 6 continents, reflecting the truly global nature of our shared mission. To each of you, whether you have traveled from afar or join us from nearby, I offer my heartfelt thanks. Your presence is more than symbolic. It reflects a collective determination for a better, more connected future. That vision finds deep resonance in the story of Indonesia itself, a vast archipelago of over 17,000 islands, home to 280 million people living across 3 time zones. From Sabang to Merauke, from Miangas to Rote, our diversity is immense, but our purpose is united. Today, Indonesia is not just confronting challenges, we are racing against 3 urgent clocks. First, the demographic clock. Over 3 million new citizens are born each year. We must scale housing, services, and opportunity to meet their demands. Second, the economic clock. We must lift millions into the middle class, share prosperity more broadly, and sharpen our global competitiveness. Third, the ecological clock. Climate change is no longer a future threat. It is a present crisis, disrupting our cities, eroding coastlines, and straining our food and water system. It is precisely against this backdrop of urgent opportunity and rising risk that we convene ICI 2025 under the theme Sustainable Infrastructure for the Future, Innovation and Collaboration. Let this not be just another forum. Let it be a launchpad for bold, transformative action. This decade will define Indonesia's trajectory. Our success will depend on what we build, how we build it, and above all, who we build it for. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today Indonesia stands at a defining moment. We are the world's fourth most populous nation, a rising middle income economy, and a critical bridge between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. President Prabowo Subianto has laid out a clear and bold development agenda. We must secure our nation's future by strengthening food security, water security, energy security through integrated, equitable, and sustainable future. Indonesia has also set an ambitious national target to reach 8% economic growth in the coming years. To get there, we cannot rely on domestic consumption alone. We must unlock the full potential of our real economy, from farms to factories, from ports to digital platforms. That means bold investment on infrastructure. Infrastructure that reduces logistic costs and increases productivity. Infrastructure that secures water for agriculture, energy for industry, and housing for workers. Infrastructure that improves urban mobility, connects rural areas, and attracts climate-aligned investment. In short, infrastructure is the foundation of inclusive, high-quality growth. If we build wisely, with resilience, equity, and urgency, we will not only reach high economic growth, but also sustain it for generations. As Coordinating Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development, I have the privilege and the responsibility of ensuring this vision is translated into action. Our ministry coordinates 5 critical portfolios. Number 1, agrarian and spatial planning, which manages land use, tenure, security, and equity. Second is public works, which ensures access to clean water, sanitation, roads, and bridges. Number 3 is transportation, which integrates sea, land, and air connectivity across archipelago. Number 4 is housing and settlement areas, which works to make affordable, livable, safe communities a reality for all Indonesian. And last but not least, transmigration, which supports frontier communities and regional balance. This is not about isolated projects. It is about systems, networks, and resilience. We coordinate not just programs, but purpose. Every new highway must unlock economic potential. Every new port must integrate seamlessly into our logistics ecosystem. Infrastructure must do more than exist. It must work as a unified system to lift communities, drive opportunity, and bind the nation together. Let me now highlight 5 priority areas anchoring our infrastructure strategy under President Prabowo Subianto's vision. Number 1, infrastructure for food and water security. A self-reliant future starts with food and water security. That is why we are rehabilitating over 2.5 million hectares of irrigation, building multi-purpose dams, expanding cold storage, and strengthening agro-logistics. In Central Java, modern irrigation and resilient rural roads are already raising yields and improving farmers' incomes. We are investing not just in agriculture, but in the infrastructures that enables it to thrive. Number two, clean energy infrastructure. Indonesia's energy future must be both secure and sustainable. We are scaling up solar, hydro, geothermal, and waste to energy alongside smart grids and rural electrification. Electric vehicle growth, industrial demand, and digital infrastructure will sharply increase energy demands. Our new national electricity supply plan 2025-2034 targets 69.5 gigawatt in additional capacity, 76% from renewable and storage. These efforts are part of our long-term commitment to achieve net zero emissions by 2060. Number three, seamless and equitable connectivity. We are building integrated transport corridors, rail, roads, ports, and airports, especially in underserved regions like Papua, Maluku, Nusa Tenggara, Kalimantan, and Sulawesi. Connectivity must reach all corners of our archipelago. We are also accelerating digital infrastructure. Broadband is as vital as bridges in a digital economy. The growth of AI-ready data centers will expand access to education, healthcare, and opportunity nationwide. Number four, livable and resilient cities. By 2045, over 70% of Indonesians will live in cities without actions. Today's urban challenges will become tomorrow's crisis. We are investing in affordable housing, transit-oriented development, green buildings, air quality, and flood control. In Northern Java, land subsidence and sea level rise threaten millions. We are responding with a multi-phase initiative to protect coastal populations aligned with our climate adaptation goals. Cities must be not only greener, but safer, healthier, and more inclusive. And last but not least, number five, financing reform for sustainable infrastructure. No vision can succeed without viable financing. We are building a robust ecosystem for infrastructure financing that combines innovation, partnership, and long-term value creation. This includes scaling PPPs, public-private partnerships, launching green bonds, and expanding blended finance platforms. We will work with Danantara and global partners to improve bankability and de-risk projects across sectors. We welcome global investors, not just to profit, but to partner with us in long-term transformation. These are the key topics that we will explore together over the next 2 days at ICI 2025. Indonesia is open for business. But we are also clear, investment must align with our national priorities, climate commitments, and people-first development goals. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that infrastructure is no longer just a national concern. It is part of a broader global compact that advances climate resilience, equity, and peaceful cooperation. In ASEAN, We are working to integrate transport, energy, and digital infrastructure to enhance regional connectivity, competitiveness, and supply chain resilience. In the G20, Indonesia is actively promoting infrastructure financing that is not only greener, but also fair, more accessible, and more responsive to the real needs of developing and emerging economies. Through South-South cooperation, we are sharing practical models of inclusive and climate-aligned infrastructure. These range from coastal protection and rural electrification to blended finance instruments and digital connectivity for remote communities. Our approach is grounded in humility and purpose. We are here to learn, to lead, and to co-create. As the world's third largest democracy and a natural bridge between Asia, Africa, and the Pacific, Indonesia stands ready to contribute to a global development agenda that is not only sustainable, but also just. Because prosperity must be inclusive, and sustainability must reflect the realities of countries like ours, where resilience is built not in boardrooms alone, but in farms, villages, coastlines, and informal economies. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we look ahead, let us remember that infrastructure is not just about what we build, but about what we enable. It is about enabling a child to study safely at school, a farmer to irrigate their crops in a changing climate, a family to access clean water, and an entrepreneur to bring their ideas to market. As we work to build national resilience, let us remember that it begins with people. By lifting them from poverty, securing their basic needs, and protecting their future in the face of climate change. Let this conference be a platform for bold commitments, for cross-border collaboration, and for transformational partnerships. We invite you to walk with us and to build systems that are not only strong, but also just, not only resilient, but also regenerative, not only modern, but also meaningful. Thank you for your presence, your partnership, and your purpose. May the outcomes of ICI 2025 serve as a foundation for a better, more connected, and more resilient world. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.